This is the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast, and I'm your host, Trudy Simmons from the Daisy Chain Group, providing platforms and opportunities for businesswomen to be seen and heard. This platform is for the women entrepreneurs that want to hear the real stories of what it takes to be yourself and run a business with all the different hats that you might have to wear. Come and join the Shine On You Crazy Daisy membership, offering online networking, co-working, collaboration and monthly masterclasses for you to grow your knowledge. Go to thedaisychaingroup.com for more information. These are the platforms to hear and share the stories of the tenacious, the rebellious, and the resilient women that are working towards the future that they build for themselves and their families. Hello and welcome to the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast. And today I am thrilled and excited to introduce you to Neena Saith from Neenas Healing. Neena, thank you so much for being involved in Shine On You Crazy Daisy Volume 4. Please tell us about your business.
Thanks, Trudy. So I help people with physical, emotional and mental conditions using the wonderful power of energy. So I do energy healing.
Amazing. Can't wait to get into that. What I absolutely loved about reading the start of your chapter is that your chapter is called From Catastrophe to Calm. I thought, well, absolutely, yes, I've been in catastrophe and I'm just so calm now. But you actually worked for a catastrophe modeling company. What did that teach you and what did you need to change your career? Why did you need to change your career?
So yeah, that's right. I worked for a catastrophe modeling company. So I had a background in meteorology. And I started out at that company managing their disaster response team. So actually, my role there was very intense. So I was kind of always looking out for what disasters were going on around the world. I was pretty much always working. So even on the weekends was sort of checking my BlackBerry in those days to see what earthquakes had happened and whether we needed to be responding to them. We were serving the insurance industry at the time. So what did it teach me? So as I progressed through my career and I was very ambitious, I worked very intensely. What I was missing was a huge amount of self-care. And when my firstborn came along, that hit me even more. You know, I just wasn't looking after myself. I was looking after everyone around me, doing the best I could in my job and was doing well. But actually my health just started to deteriorate. And that was a massive lesson for me. And actually, ultimately, that's what led me to saying, I've reached this point, my health deteriorated. I need to step back from my role now. And actually, once I stood back, I realized it wasn't right to go back. It wasn't serving me anymore. I didn't have the spark that I had when I went into that job. So I knew that was a door to close. But it was a big lesson there.
Yeah, it's a massive realization when those things start happening. But you also, with a series of illnesses and things that happen to you, you realize that those illnesses were linked to your emotions. So what did you then do about that?
So, yeah, I mean, that was a big realization. And actually, it took me quite some time and some digging to realize that what you're experiencing physically is generally always links back to what's going deep down inside in terms of your thoughts and emotions and past experiences and traumas. So as I talk about in the chapter, you know, I suffered with severe neck and shoulder pain for a good couple of years, but that was after having my tonsils out, after a constant sort of series of tonsillitis. And actually, you'll notice that is all the same area of the body, that, you know, throat, then that got sorted, but actually it then came up in my neck and shoulders. So after a lot of digging, trying to change everything physically, like mattresses, posture, sitting position, pillow, all of that, having massages, physio, that wasn't changing it. And I realized, gosh, it is something going on inside, and that's what needs to change. So that's when I did a lot of reading. I started to meditate. I started to try and build a self-awareness, which actually then led me to discover energy healing, which really sorted out the pain for me. It literally dissolved it overnight.
It's incredible. And just, you made me remember and realize that it must have been over 10 years ago now that I was in counseling, and my counselor wrote a chapter on me. Didn't name me, thank God, but it was about the fact that it took me so long to believe that my emotional responses was linked to how my body was reacting. And I was so anti that just, this is a physical response that I'm having. It cannot be an emotional thing that's happening.
Yeah,
a whole chapter on me.
Wow, I'd love to read that. But it is interesting because we're such physical beings. Yeah. So we're so used to kind of feeling and touching and you know, in this physical body, that sometimes we just don't think about the things that we can't see.
Yeah.
And you know, our thoughts and emotions are part of that. And you know, actually something I notice now is if I get angry, it really takes it out of me for days afterwards. I will feel tired, and I will always then feel it in my throat. I will quite often come down with a sore throat or something. And I'm so much more aware now of, you know, emotions that come up, and they always do. You don't want to stop those emotions from flowing. It's not about that. But if you can then kind of watch them and then notice what your physical body does. And one of the best advice I've ever been given by a couple of different people within the same time period is just listen to your body.
Yeah. So in listening to your body, talk to us about energy healing. What does this mean to you? What are the benefits that you've experienced for yourself and for your clients?
So energy healing to me is like the ultimate self-care, because you're nurturing yourself on every level, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. It reaches places that a lot of therapies just can't get to. So just to give you an example, a couple of different clients in the past have described after a session, quite a few people have come out of it saying, wow, that's like a non-touch massage. And someone else said to me, which I found it kind of hit the nail on the head for me. She said, oh, it just felt like non-verbal counseling. And I thought those two descriptions just sum up energy healing so well, because energy healing, you're working with this sort of invisible force around you and within you, that we don't really see, but most of us feel, even though we're not aware of it. And that energy field feeds our physical body constantly and expels energy and absorbs energy. And it often holds the key to many long-running illnesses or aches and pains. So actually, that's what I love working with people. And actually, that's who often ends up at my door, is people that have these long-running issues, and they've been round the houses. Their GPs have said, oh, you know, there's nothing wrong. We can't see anything wrong with you. They've gone to all sorts of therapists, and then they're literally at the end of their tether. They go, I'm not sure I believe in this, but I'll try anything now. And they sit down, and it's always a pleasure just to see the surprise in their face when they feel stuff going on, and then things start to shift for them.
What I absolutely love in talking to someone like you is that it's so clear that your background is scientific, and that academic brain behind knowing that this energy work works.
Yeah.
I've got friends that do it as well, and it is unbelievable to know the background of being a lawyer or being a doctor, and then coming through that and thinking, so their brains are so academic. And
and it requires quite a shift for me, because when I discovered it, I was desperate. I had tried everything for my neck and shoulders, and I was in pieces. I was really low. So I was at that point where I'll try anything. And I remember sitting on the course, and I'd partnered up with a stockbroker lady with same sort of age. And we giggled our way through it going, is this for real? And we didn't feel anything go on. Like, everyone else was going, yes, I can feel this, I can feel that. And we were like, can't feel it, but this is sort of fun. And yeah, over that weekend, I had such a transformation in the way I felt. My physical pain went. I couldn't ignore that. So that just led me to look into it more and more. And actually, as woo-woo as it seems on the outset, because you're not touching is for me, that was a big thing. Actually, it is grounded in science, and it makes sense. And it just sat with me so well that, what you learn, you realize, that does make sense. It really does.
Oh, I love it. If there was one lesson that you've learned that every entrepreneur should know, what would it be?
Well, I think that comes back to self-care, because even, since starting my own business, I see now it's more important than ever to be looking after yourself, because you are your business now. I've not got the wrapper of a corporate looking after me where I can go on sick leave, and you've got that comfort blanket. When you're starting a business and you're on your own, essentially, you need the resilience, and you need to be fit and healthy, and you have to look after yourself to do that.
Yes, absolutely. I love hearing it, because no matter how many times, I say this all the time, no matter how many times we hear it, we need to hear it again. So thank you. What is your favorite business book?
My favorite business book, I was thinking hard about this, and my mind took me back to 2014 when I was in my corporate career, and I did some work with a career coach, and she gave me this book called Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson. And I thought, what is this? And it's a book about these little mice, and their cheese disappears, and they have to go in search of some new cheese. But actually what the book is really about is change, and dealing with change, and being agile when change comes along. And I just think, it made a huge impact on me at the time, because there was a lot of change going on in the company that I was working for. And I had a lot of change going on in my personal life, which, as you know, change can unsettle us, can't it? That uncertainty can cause all sorts of stresses and trauma to arise and knock us sideways. So actually, it made me smile, and it made me think, this is the mindset to have when it comes to change. And it's a book that you can just read over and over again.
What a great title. Who Moved My Cheese? Neena, it is an absolute pleasure to speak to you. And I asked you to be involved in this book because I think that energy healing is so important for what the future can look like when we shift and change how we're able to view things and how things can move through our bodies. So thank you so much for being involved in the book and in the podcast.
Thank you for asking me, Trudy. Thanks.
Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, please like the video and click the subscribe button for this channel for more inspiration. If you're a businesswoman looking for that community that will support you and lift you up, come and join the Shine On You Crazy Daisy membership, offering online networking, co-working, collaboration and monthly masterclasses to grow your knowledge. Go to thedaisychaingroup.com for more information. And for even more inspiration, please go to the link under the video and get your copy of the Shine On You Crazy Daisy series of books with inspirational and motivating stories from businesswomen around the world.